Every frame, an actor that is visible has a function that runs to write its display lists, called its draw function. When we do SRM with a superslide, the angle of the object we're holding is in a position where, with the right memory alignment, it can overwrite part of the pointer to an actor's draw function. This means that we can replace the draw function with a different function that's loaded nearby. I've recorded a movie that shows a powerful application of this idea in Goron City. The idea here is going to be to replace the draw function of an actor, in this case a pot, with the function that runs when Child Link gets a bomb bag upgrade from the rolling Goron. That function is part of the Goron overlay, which is loaded wherever generic Goron is, which is any Goron that isn't Darunia. When it runs, it sets Link's get item value to that of a bomb bag, which has been written to around the end of the Goron's instance by a different routine. However, when we cause different actors to run this function, the game is going to look at the same offset in their instance for that get item value, but for actors with smaller instances than a Goron, that means that we're actually reading past the actor's instance. In other words, we can use parts of memory that aren't even associated with the actor running the function to determine what item Link gets. So here I'm doing a setup to allocate memory in a favorable way for this. I'll post a separate video with details on exactly how you do this setup, but as you can probably tell from watching this video, it's not terribly difficult. So now memory is set up correctly, and we can do a super slide off of this pot. We're going to pass through the loading zone and grab it while it's culled, or after it has been unloaded while culled. And that will cause us to still have the pointer to where it is in memory, but that's going to line up with the draw function that we want to overwrite. And then by doing a specific setup here, we get an angle that will cause the draw function to line up with that bomb bag function that we wanted to use. And so once we've actually done this writing, you can see that the pot has disappeared, the one on the left there. And it turns out, remember that the get item value was in a place after the pot in memory. And it turns out that if we drop 2 chews and pull Hookshot, the Hookshot is going to load right after that pot. And the address that corresponds to the pot's get item value is something that relates to the hookshot's tip as it travels, which means that by shooting the hookshot, we can manipulate the item value to whatever we want. So here, each time I'm manipulating the get item value to be negative, which causes the pot to behave like a chest. Luckily, this process is repeatable, so we can get as many items as we want from this pot chest. And whenever we're done and geared up, we can even use it as a convenient way to warp ourselves somewhere else, at least in the case of one item.